From Lalate News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings Lalate.
It's a big morning here on Lalate with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In this recording for Wednesday morning, we go over the monthly stimulus check and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Then we cut to the recon. Done deal. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to you and the American people in the biggest payout we've ever seen of a generation. Massive amount of checks, 3.5 trillion of them. In the second half of this video, we'll be going over that incredible great details. Then we go to the voting process, the recon, the bipartisan, and why it's going to be sooner and quicker than initially thought. Then we cut to fifth stimulus, which is just a few days away, and then we turn to the big money that viewers are getting as they're getting $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, then heading to $50,000. And in this recording, you'll meet one viewer who got over $100,000 from this channel. We also go over the incredible great news as your SNAP benefits are raised up 25% lifetime. The breaking news and more on this big early mornings broadcast this Wednesday morning, starting right now. Wednesday morning. So glad you're joining me across the board. You know, it was warmer on Tuesday here in Southern California, but hopefully it's not warmer or hotter today. Jump in the live chat and tell me where you're tuned in from this Wednesday morning, how the weather is where you are. Thank you for joining me on a beautiful early mornings broadcast. In this recording, we're going to go over that monthly stimulus check and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Then we cut to the recon. Done deal. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to you under the fourth stimulus recon, most of which are application based. And so if you pounce as a Purple Hawk under third stimulus, whether you got a couple $100 for SNAP or other items, you're going to know how to pounce and get big money under fourth stimulus. I'm going to go over all the incredible great details in the second half of this video. Then we cut to the voting process and why it's going to be sooner, quicker, and easier. And within less than a week from now, it heats up. Oh boy, it's getting exciting. Then we cut to fifth stimulus, which is about to unwrap. So what are those unwords? Unwrap itself in early September, just a few days away from this one. It's not unraveling. No, that's the wrong expression. And then we got to the big money across the board as viewers continue to rocket with 5,000, 20,000. Then we went to 50,000 with Mark, and you're going to meet in this recording Lorraine, who got over $105,000 under third stimulus. So I'm going to show you how you get this big money as well. And this is Lalate, America's only 24 hours a day, 7 days a week financial news channel in America, live in the morning like right now, and taped in the afternoons. And coming up next is Overnight's Crypto. This video will take you there automatically. You don't have to lift a finger, sort of like Chuck Schumer. And then coming up at 9 o'clock is a brand new Lalate Mornings live on air, then a new noontime at 11 a.m. live on air. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button. Next stop, 1 million in 1 year. Then consider liking the video. Every like helps. It helps in the algorithm rankings. And consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. The link's under the video. Let's cut to the breaking news starting right now. House versus Senate, Senate versus House. Both monthly stimulus checks, but different number of checks and different approaches. House is an approach of pandemic plus 1 year. That House bill is wonderful. Then Senate, July to December. Let's go over the payouts. Senate, monthly unknown. House is $1,000 a month after the first month. But word on the streets, the Senate would pay you this. Deliciousness. $2,000 over 6 months, $12,000. Or $1,400 over 6 months, $8,400. Well, here we go. As House bill is pandemic plus 1 year, everyone believes at this point, pandemic is far from over. Delta is now causing a lot of economic influences to suggest that Delta will be far more severe in the fall than we initially thought. That's why the House bill pays a lot more checks, pandemic plus 1 year, which would likely pay more than 12 checks, which would be more than $13,000 from that Senate bill. Compare that to this and the Senate. I think you have an opinion. Vote House or Senate, and tell me where you're tuning in from and how's the weather. Who gets this fourth stimulus check? You do. Democrats represent that if you got a third stimulus check, you're getting a fourth. Single individual, 75,000 less. Democrats represent you get a fourth stimulus check under the fourth stimulus package. Married couple, 150,000 less. Democrats represent you get a fourth stimulus check, double it. Family of four, Democrats represent you get a fourth stimulus check, quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, Democrats represent you get a fourth stimulus check. The fourth stimulus check is non-income. It's not taxable, and the fourth stimulus check is not a different amount for different people, including adult dependents. And oh, wow, what is that? Is that like the foghorn? I don't know what that means. It's your Lauren say moo out of the way. I don't know if you picked up that sound. Oh, there it is again. It sounds like a foghorn. The fourth stimulus check would be the same amount to everyone. Finally, is it a waveable check? It's not a waveable check. But if you do see the wave honking of the foghorn at the beach this weekend, when it's really overcast and it's just like, get out of the way, I need to see where I'm going. Just say to the check, hey, you're not a waveable check. Just wave your hand and move the fog for you. See how I do it impromptu on this channel? I hope you hear that foghorn. That was hysterical. I don't know what that is. The fourth is stimulus check, and there you go. In the second half of this video, we'll be cutting into the big news of the recon. Done deal. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to you and the American people. The biggest payout we've ever seen in the history of this channel. And why is it going to be mostly application-based? And as a Purple Hawk, you're going to be able to clean up on this one. Because if you've done well on the third stimulus, oh boy, you're going to do well on the fourth stimulus. Then we cut to the fifth stimulus package. And also we cut to the voting process for fourth stimulus. It's just days away as we have the two-path, two-bill process. I'll go over all the incredible, great details. But first, let's get a pen and paper ready. Let's get some money. I'm going to get some money for you for rent, utilities, internet, and also SNAP. Now, when we talked about rent initially on this channel, I said, maybe 4 to 6 months of rent. Now viewers are getting several years of rent. When I said rent, I said maybe $5,000. Now people are getting a lot more than $5,000. How much are they getting for rent? Are you ready? Here we go. Oh my goodness. Elizabeth, $27,000 she got for rent. As a Purple Hawk, as a Purple Power, Calcino VIPs across the board. Incredible success story. Mark got $25,000 for rent as a member. His neighbor got nothing. And then he said, hey, have you watched that kid, Lalate? He's the real deal. Within days, his neighbor went from nothing to $20,000 of rent. Nancy got $24,000 for rent. Richard, $22,000. And Nisi, $20,000 or more. If you've had a success story as well, send it to me on a social media and I'll feature it live on air. Send me a DM on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Gonzalez tells me over the weekend he got $8,000 for rent. Barb's tells me she got a couple $1,000s for utilities. Congratulations, Barb's. Pamela tells me she got $12,000 for rent. Art Sullivan reveals, I think he said he got $14,000 for rent. Great job. Carla got money for utilities and SNAP. Tiffany reveals she got $13,000 for rent and some SNAP and some utilities. Randy reveals he got $6,000 for rent and some utilities. Jennifer tells me she got $5,000 for rent and lights and some SNAP. And Cecilia reveals she got $1,200 for heat. That's a heap. So how much for utilities are other people getting? Are you ready for the big numbers? Here you go. Bam. Wow. Nancy got $7,000 for utilities. There she is again. She's getting 2 items on this channel. There's Mark again. He got $6,500 for utilities. Great job, both of you. And there's Angela with $5,000 for utilities. Well, SNAP is absolutely incredible. And yeah, you heard in the opening remarks of this channel that the big news is SNAP is now increased by 25%. So let's see the big numbers that people got based upon the old valuation of SNAP. Are you ready? Bam. Louis, my goodness, got $18,000 for SNAP under the old valuation. John, $10,000, and Nancy, $5,000. You know what that means for Louis? Yeah, he's going to take that number and put that plus 25%. Big difference. He'll be far in excess of $20,000 annualized for SNAP. Incredible. And there's Nancy. She's got 3 items. Oh, my goodness. So how many people are in that triple crown? How many people are people who got rent, utilities, and SNAP? Let's see the details. Are you ready? Bam. Oh, my goodness. Nancy got $32,000 for rent, utilities, and SNAP. Nisi got $23,000 for 3 items. And Mark got $32,000 for 2 items? 2 items. Mark, this is a graphic for 3 items. How did you slide in here? It's a graphic for 3 items, but Mark's on the two. I got 2 items. So what happened? Well, Mark got 2 items of 32,000, and over 7 days of recordings, I said to Mark, go get some Snap. It's easy. That's why it's called a Snap. And go get it. It's easy. Eligibility is very simple. And he did. He went and understood my videos, and he went and got Snap within just days, within 5 days. How much do you think he got? I had been saying get 8,000 because I love his grand total would be 40,000. I love lots of zeros on a check, don't you? Lots of zeros and lots of commas. And so he got Snap. How much did you think he got? He got a lot more than 8,000. How much more? Are you ready? Mark got $19,000 for Snap, bringing his grand total to 50,500. And yes, that's on the old Snap calculation. So Mark will now be in excess of probably $55,000 with the new Snap increase. And this is Lalate. This is what we've been doing since day one. And boy, we killing it. In spring of last year, people had applied for that EIDL loan, and granted, their applications were not getting approved. And so I launched this channel to help get their applications approved, doing their applications on air and off air and private messages throughout the night, getting upwards of 10 applications approved a day at $150,000 a pop, bringing the grand total to over $25 million of EIDL loans I got approved, saving people's homes, their businesses, and their employees' homes. Then in fall of 2020, second stimulus was not coming out, so I showed viewers there's another application to apply for, second stimulus. And Tyrone heard my recordings. At the time, it was hard to get rent in Boston for a family of 4. Tyrone persevered. He heard my recordings, and he applied, and he got $15,000 to $16,000 for rent, paying all his rent from December to the spring. But now we're doing it again. The only difference is you're doing it bigger and bolder than ever before, Purple Hawks, because you've heard my recordings, you've understood how to pounce, and now the numbers are going bigger. You thought that market $50,000 or $55,000 was the ceiling, the sky is the limit. Well, the sky is the limit, because I introduce you to Lorraine. She got $105,000 from this channel for rent, food, and additional sums of money. And this is how we do it on this channel. Get a pen and paper ready. Today is your day to be the next Lorraine. We're going to get some rent, utilities, food, and internet, and Snap. Here's a couple of introductory remarks. Number one, I'm going to show you different places to reach out to. So if one says no, keep on persevering. I'm going to show you 6. Keep on going on. So if one says no, reach out to the next. They have different eligibility. Number 2, they have their own pots of money, so keep on persevering. Number 3, listen to the keywords I say in the video. It really helps people get approved. Also, there is no state that doesn't pay money. Every state pays money. And finally, don't include other eligibility criterions in the brain cells. So they don't give money to guys that stand in front of yellow surfboards. So don't add sort of false narratives in your brain cell. I'm not going to apply because I heard they don't like surfers to get rent. They say, just go surf. No, they didn't say that. They don't say that. And so go apply. All right, you're ready? You can reach out to your city hall, your city housing authority, your county hall, your county housing authority, your state hall, your state housing authority. Keywords are going to say are rent assistance because of COVID. That's rent assistance because of COVID. You're not going to say words they don't know like stimulus or Mitch's wonderful personality. Really? Yeah, it's not that. No. They don't know that. And also say mortgage and utility assistance because of COVID. And there you go. If you got money for rent or utilities, post in the live chat. Congratulations to Tim and Linda, who got as well. Let's cut to Snap. Snap is a Snap. And Lynn Glenn got it for herself, her son, and her mom. Gail got it as well. And Louie got 18,000. Mark got 19,000. And wow. The numbers just keep on coming on in. What is Snap? Snap is money for food. How do you get it? Department of Agriculture. Where do you get it? Reach out to them. Eligibility is a Snap. It's easier than a stimulus check. Why would you not get it? A family of 4 out of Hawaii gets upwards of $16,000 a year. Whoa, why so much money? Because of 2 wonderful executive orders, one from Biden, one from Trump, that raises your benefits up 15% between now, from January to now. And if you heard the breaking news yesterday on this channel, it's incredible. Starting October, Snap will be raised up on average for every American that's currently on Snap or gets on Snap at a later date at 25% lifetime. So the 15% is expiring, and then everyone in every state nationwide will have a 25% increase lifetime. So go get Snap. And if you got Snap as well, post in the live chat. We're killing it. We are only 14 minutes of the video. We've gotten $27,000 for rent, $19,000 for SNAP on the old calculation, which brings it to almost $25,000 annualized, and $9,000 for utilities, and we're just getting started. The next pile of money is the money coming back for your states due to overpayment and a computer error. Reach out to your state. This is the unemployment benefits where they paid you and it was a computer error, overpayment. It's coming to you under a federal government order. Where's the landing direct deposit? Can you track it? Yeah, contact your state and say, hi, state. Where's that check due to overpayment of unemployment benefits? Oh, I don't know. Sir, can you turn on the computer? Oh, I forgot. Sorry. And why do you sound like Sirloin? Is that where Sirloin has been? Congratulations to the viewers who got this as well. One viewer got $3,000, another got $5,000. The next pot of the money is the refund check coming back from that 2020 tax return you paid IRS on. Margaret got it, Cog got it, Michael got it. It pays a lot. And guess what? It's a waivable check. I'm so sorry, Mitch. I just ruined your day when I said that. You just hate waivable checks. It's landing by direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. But first, here's a personal message. If you're on the live chat and you've not posted your success stories for rent, utilities, food, or internet, whether it's $1 or $10, post your success stories right now. Because the spirit of this channel is me helping you and you helping others. And I launched this channel in April of last year to help people. And you help people when you post your success stories several different ways. Number one, we've had people do incredible refocusing to realize, wait a second, the big sums of money out there for me, $20, $30, $40, $50,000, are not me holding a donut. It's for me picking up the phone and holding the phone and calling up and saying, I want that money. Because it's application-based, generally, under third stimulus that pays the big sum of money. And under fourth, it will as well. So you're doing a great help by inspiring people to go get that money now and showing them that you can do it again when fourth stimulus becomes law. Then we have people who never knew certain things existed. A lot of people never knew that rent would pay so much money. A lot of people never knew that they can get their utilities bills paid. Some people don't even know what SNAP is. For example, Larry Maui never heard of SNAP until he found this channel. He's getting $500 a month, a single individual in Hawaii. Imagine how much he's going to get now that it has a 25% increase on it. Then we have people like Art Sullivan and Nisi, who are wonderful people who inspire us to get 3 items. We may have got 1 item. And now we're getting 3. Nancy was inspired by them. Mark was inspired by them. And finally, it gets us a big update. The C's shows us that the numbers are getting bigger and bolder than we ever thought. Let's cut back to those unemployment benefits starting right now. Where are they landing? Direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. Can you track it? Yeah, 70% of the time you can. Go to iris.gov and do a transcript search, and it'll reveal stuff you never knew. It'll reveal the tax return you filed and the taxes you paid, but then also stuff that you wish you had never seen. Like, was Mitch and Chuck Schumer ever in a horror film together? And when they were, did they sell $12 ice cream on top of lobster? Yeah, that sounds horrible. It sounds like a horror movie, doesn't it? Can we top that? Yes. And 70% of the time, it'll reveal the refund check you're getting as well. And we can top that as we go into the second part of your fourth stimulus check update 2021, starting right now. Deal done. $30.5 trillion of checks are coming to the American people under the fourth stimulus recon. The fourth stimulus recon is the biggest recon we've ever seen in the history of this country. We had a first, we had a second, we had a third that were this big. Well, the fourth one is this big. The first and second, the first 3 were about Marco Rubio's side. This one is like, Ron Wyden size. It's just enormous. It's the biggest recon we've ever seen. And guess what? The prior stimulus packages were mostly 90% for U.S. corporations. This one is all for you. So there's a lot of room to put stimulus checks in there, but most of the money in there is application-based. And this is where Purple Hawks are going to clean up. How did they achieve this? By taking roads and bridges out of the recon and putting it into something called bipartisan. A conservative publication confirms my reporting. That the higher the top line was on the recon bill, originally the harder it was to pass. There you go. By allowing the Democrats to take out some of the spending from the recon, roads and bridges, and put in the bipartisan, the overall price tag of the recon got smaller. In other words, the bipartisan deal made the recon passable. But now they're both passable, and they've both passed the U.S. Senate. Next up, the House. In just days from now. It's less than a week away. Here we go. Well, how did they do this? Well, the progressives shrunk that recon by taking roads and bridges out, and then they agreed upon a price tag. You're only going to hear this on this channel, that the progressives included both House and Senate Democrats, not just Senate Democrats, agreeing upon a price tag of $3.5 trillion for the recon. So when they call this for the vote in the next less than a week away in the House, it's going to pass in 10 seconds. Because they agreed upon the price tag before they started. That's why Representative Richie Torres said we have to have a recon that goes as large as we have to have a larger recon. You got it, Richie. 3.5 trillion passed. And Representative Elon Omar says we have to have a recon that goes as far as we wanted. You got it. 3.5 trillion passed. Now, what else do they do? The president told them to protect the recon because everything in that recon is stimulus, is checks for the American people, checks of all types of stimulus nature. The White House considers the progressive priorities in their priorities, says Schatz and Jalopal. So what is a recon? What is a bipartisan? What is a recon procedural? What is a recon substantive? Let's go over all the details starting right now. Recon is your money. This is the stimulus money. This is money for the American people that tries to give them stimulus as this economy sort of, meanders through Delta. And recon has another series of other names, also called reconciliation, also called the budget bill, also called the spending plan. Democrat spending plan, progressive spending plan, progressive welfare assistance plan, a lot of different similar expressions. $3.5 trillion price tag, money all for you. Bipartisan, not your money. This is roads and bridges, also called infrastructure, price tag $1.5 trillion. Okay, that's pretty simple. We're doing 3 bills here. We got a recon procedural, which will be done by start of next week, recon substantive, and then bipartisan. So let's go over the difference of recon procedural and then recon substantive. It's all very simple. Let's go over everything you need to know starting off the bat. So what is a recon procedural? Recon procedural is what's passed in the Senate last week and will pass in the House in just a few days from now, early next week. It has a price tag of $3.5 trillion and a dedication of money to different subcommittees. That's all it's asking. Number one, do you agree to do a recon in a future date at a price tag of $3.5 trillion? I agree. And you agree that committee number 1 gets $10, and committee number 2 gets $20, etc.? I agree. That's all that recon procedural does. Everyone's already agreed upon the price tag of 3.5 in the Progressive Democratic Party, so this is a done deal. Well, after they call that vote for recon procedural in the House within days, then they start the recon substantive. And the recon substantive says, okay, now that a committee has been given $10, how does that committee spend the money? Who is that committee spending the money on, when, where, and how? Okay, who writes a recon substantive? A recon substantive is written by the subcommittees of the House of Representatives. They're dedicated to different subject matters under the Constitution. For example, House Ways and Means writes stimulus checks, unemployment benefits. They're not starting to write just next week. They've been writing all along. So that's very simple. When they are done, let's say it's 10 subcommittees and 10 pages, they send it up to Chuck Schumer. He puts a big S on it. Schumer for S for Schumer. No, for Senate. But in later this video, you're going to see that maybe it has an H on it. Why an H? For House of Representatives. Oh boy. How do we get to the spot? By Jalopal, who recently wrote Schumer a letter saying Chuck called the vote on the recon. That letter was signed by 12 House Democrats who were part of the 100-plus House Democrats who recently wrote the president a letter saying we're going to be putting monthly fourth stimulus checks in that fourth stimulus package. Wow, that's incredible, great news. Can we top that? We can. As 7 members of the House Ways and Means Committee recently wrote the president a letter saying we're going to be putting monthly fourth stimulus checks in the fourth stimulus package. The subcommittee we just went over? Yeah, that one. Wow, Purple Power, you got to push and make sure they keep their promise. Can we top that? We can. As 7 members, as the president did it, Biden did it. 7 weeks ago, he went overseas to sign something ceremonial. But the real signature was just days away. It was back here in the States, and it was for the global minimum corporate tax rate minimum, that confusing, boring thing. That global minimum corporate tax rate thing is incredible. Why? Because it's not in the recon. It makes the recon easier to write, easier to vote on, easier to pass, and easier to do because this confusing thing is not in there. Can we top that? Yes. As we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, we're going to heat up with the big breaking news about how the recon procedural is going to blink with an eye and go right through the finish line. The tow truck is about to pass right over that finish line in just hours or days. And then it's time for the tow hitch, recon procedural, recon substantive. Then we turn to the big exciting news. As viewers are now ready to pounce because they're doing so well under third stimulus, you're going to see as a Purple Hawk how you're going to be able to pounce so well, better than anyone else, under fourth stimulus. Then we cut to fifth stimulus as well, which raises your benefits up, and I'll have more about that incredible great details about your SNAP increase. But first, if you need help with rent, utilities, food, or internet, here's a little bit about the community page. They're reachable on the community page. Here's what I recommend to you, though. I want you to get one item under third stimulus, whether it's $100 for SNAP or $200 for electric bill. Because once you do that yourself, you've developed the skill set. Because fourth stimulus is all going to be about using your skills. If you've been able to get one of these items under third stimulus, then you can kill it under fourth stimulus with me together. But if you can't get the other sums of money, then reach out to the community page. Where are they? Under the description of this video. Click the link, it'll send you there. It's at news.lalate.com/community. Here's a little bit about them. I'll be back in 60 seconds with you as this big early mornings broadcast on Wednesday morning continues. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join Lalate Daily for the excitement of the new Lalate live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings Lalate at 9 a.m. Home Lalate returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons Lalate at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on Lalate. And the excitement continues right now on this big early mornings broadcast. The toast is toast and the butter is butter. And I'm here, you're here, and boy, this Wednesday's going to be deliciousness. How are you? Thank you for joining me across the board this beautiful Wednesday morning with the latest details. But first, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. It's good to be back, and I'm glad to be here with you. Hit that subscribe button right now. Thank you for all the incredible subscriber growth and the new members across the board. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. The link's under the video right across the board. Coming up later after this video is Overnight's Crypto. It's a new show, so stay here. It automatically takes you there. Then at 9 a.m., live on air, Mornings LA, and 11 a.m., noontime on this channel. Meantime, the President of the United States, when running for the highest place in the country, highest office in the country, promised to raise your benefits up. He did not deliver, so now the Democratic caucus is taking care of this for you under what's called fifth stimulus. Fifth stimulus heats up in just a few days. In September, we go into fifth stimulus and it starts drafting. They represent it's going to be done up by November vote, and that means then the benchmark, the money would hit your account shortly thereafter. The benchmark will be applied in December for next year's benefits. How does this work? Let's go over the details starting right now. First, they'll raise your benefit limits up. Then they'll remove the asset limit. They'll add an inflationary benchmark, remove the income exclusion, and remove the marriage penalty. Let's go over how this works starting right now. First, they'll raise your benefits up a lifetime. Then they'll apply a new benchmark. When's that benchmark going to be applied? In December. What is it? It's inflation. Replacing COLA. That inflation rate is going to be transitory, says Jay Powell, head of the Federal Reserve. What does transitory mean? It means it's going to a temporary spike and then coming back down. How high a spike? I'm reporting it's going to be about 5%. Oh, boy. So let's do the analysis. First, they'll raise your benefits up a lifetime. Then they'll apply the benchmark. If the benchmark is 5%, that means your benefits will go up another 5%. Not just next year, lifetime. Because once your benefits step up, they never step down. Then they're going to move the asset cap dating back to a 1980s law. This is you can't stay on benefits and also have more than $3,000 on hand. The income cap is going to go away, dating back to a 1960s law. This is you can't work and stay on benefits. And finally, the marriage penalty is going to end. Love is going to win, and you will be able to get married, have a pair dance at your wedding, and no longer fear a loss of benefits, like Rob and Sandy. And there you go. That's fifth stimulus. Will there be a fifth stimulus check? There will be. And will the fifth stimulus check be next year? It will. Finally, what about those Purple Hawks. If you're in the live chat and you notice people that had a hawk next to their name, a green hawk, excuse me, did I say green hawk? Purple hawk, dear me. Then you need to join. The link to join is underneath the video. What happens when you become a Purple Hawk? Daily, I deliver to you from the YouTube page a breakdown of all the big money that's available for you under third stimulus. It's written by me daily, delivered to you via the YouTube community page. Here's what you need to know, is that Purple Hawks are now pouncing and getting fortunes. They're getting far in excess of $5,000. You see the graphics on this channel. $27,000 for rent they're getting. $7,000 for utilities, $18,000 for SNAP before the new increase, which brings that almost up to $25,000. Mark getting $50,000, Lorraine getting enormous sums of money. Here is what happens. Well, you get refocused on understanding that the big sums of money in these stimulus packages are application-based. Under second stimulus, there was a $600 stimulus check, and I said, sure, but I need you to focus on the big sums of money you can get under second stimulus. And that's how Tyrone and his family of four got $15,000. Then in January of 2021, I said, hey, you're going to get a $14 stimulus check. But the big sums of money on the third stimulus are application-based. And that's how the Purple Hawks pounced, getting more money than you could possibly imagine. I said I could get you $14,000. Now they're getting $50,000. And there you go. So consider becoming a member. The link's under the video. And with that, we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, starting right now with Deal Done. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to you under the fourth stimulus recon. Now, here's a couple of things you need to understand. Number one, the price tag is confirmed, $3.5 trillion. The price tag will be passed in the House of Representatives as early as the start of next week. Done. And the $3.5 trillion is all checks to the American people. Done. So you're getting checks. But the vast majority of those checks in there are application-based. Now, there's a lot of room to also have stimulus checks in there as well. The first stimulus recon, this big. Second, third, this big. Fourth, this big. So there's a lot of room in there for stimulus checks. But in addition to those stimulus checks, the remainder of that $3.5 trillion is mostly application-based. And if you've pounced before and gotten big sums of money from this channel, you're going to do it again. Here's what you need to know, is that when you look back on the history of this channel, most of the stimulus packages have always been application-based. It was only recently that we somehow got used to the notion of doing things automatically. It was never that way. When this channel launched in April of last year, people had applied for the EIDL loan, which was supposed to give you loans, forgivable loans or grants of $5, $10, $15, $150,000, $200,000, $300,000. People had to apply for it. It was not automatic. You just put your hand out. And they applied, and they weren't getting approved, and they were stalled up. So I launched this channel to help people get their applications approved. That was why I was here, to help people get applications approved. And I was doing about 10 applications a day, about $150,000 a pop. Then, 2 days later, a new thing was going live in the country. It was under first stimulus. It was called PUA. And it was application-based again. I had heard about it here in California in early April. I knew it was going live in California April 28th. Other states didn't go live for 2 months. I show people how to apply because it was difficult and people got a lot of money. $15,000, $20,000 was seen routinely. Like Eileen Bellenkamp out of Florida got over $15,000 for her benefits, even though Florida was delayed from watching my channel in April and May of last year. PPP was some things like that. When we came around third stimulus, somehow we got used to the notion of things just sort of automatically appearing. It was never that way. So when we go into fourth stimulus, I'm so excited for you because as a Purple Hawk, you're going to be able to pounce and get these big sums of money. And what are some of these money? Well, there's checks for seniors, checks for workers, checks for all walks of life. And the fourth stimulus is designed to help everyone, not just certain groups of people. Now, while we don't have the bill, we have some of the provisions that are proposed in there. Here you go. Free school meals for all, checks. Tax break checks. Cheaper prescription medication checks. Farmers checks, election checks, free internet checks, and then we have lots of checks for workers like independent contractors, unions, collective bargaining, and lots of checks for seniors like dental, vision, hearing care checks, and checks for lowering eligibility age and more. I love the Purple Hawks are always saying, I want to get that dental. It's not law yet, but I love the anticipation of a Purple Hawk ready to pounce. Moreover, I love how Purple Hawks are focused because this is what's going on. The person who has your dental does not also do your internet. And you really have to hope the person doing the internet is not doing your dental. Yes. Can you do my teeth and also fix my search engine? Yeah, no, I don't want that. So you have to apply it more than one place. And you're going to be really well suited when this becomes law. Now, let's go over the voting process because this is great news. Within less than a week, the recon procedure will pass into the record books. That is the tow truck. The tow truck will have passed over the finish line. Remember, the recon procedural only asks those simple questions: price tag and how to dedicate the money. Well, they've already agreed upon the price tag before they even started this. So on August 23rd, which is just a few days away from now, it's less than a week away, recon procedural will pass in the House of Representatives with flying colors. It'll pass easily. August 23rd is a confirmed firm date from Steny Hoyer for the passage of the recon procedural in the House. Then we go to recon substantive on September 15th for a firm date, says Leader Schumer. But it is in the House or the Senate. Why is there an asterisk next to that? That is for what's proposed. There's reports that maybe they'd start the recon substantive on the House side. I love that. I love that. It's really helpful for us for potentially more money. Number one, the House always gives more money than the Senate. Number two, the House has progressives. They spend more money than the Senate. Number three, the subcommittees are in the House. They're writing the legislation, so it's better to stay in the House. Number four, I like starting the House because the House members can give you more money, and then the vote-a-rama in the Senate can give you more money. So this is great news. And then recon done, 9:30. We're just days away from that proposed final date to get the recon done. Now, it's important to understand that you need to push Purple Power. Seats for stimulus is heating up with 6 House seats up for grabs. Those 6 House seats are up 6. It sounded like 6. No, boy, I'm still butchering it. 6, not sick. Sick, some very sick seats. Yeah, well, 6 seats are up for grabs in the House in early November, but they're already campaigning tooth and nail to keep those seats. This is big because 6 seats could make the House very Democratic or make the House a lot more Republican. Seats for Stimulus was a campaign I launched last year, which says give us the right stimulus or we're taking your seats. And you've been doing a great job on social media. Now, surely on a given day, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. I see people tagging me with Seats for Stimulus at Lalate. You're doing a great job. But along the way, I'm also seeing some people who are I'm sad to even say this, even Purple Hawks saying, I'll see you in September. That is not a Purple Hawk. That is a donut guy. I'll see you in September. Oh, I'll see you in September when the congressional leaders don't take care of you and you haven't done anything and you haven't pushed and you haven't. No. Purple Power is about pushing with your power. Purple Power is not about showing up to find out something there's in your hand. I want to show up when the checks are landing in my hand. No, you need to push. Because these are legislators. They are fighting tooth and nail to take every penny they can of the $3.5 trillion for their pet projects. And what you need to do is you need to push across the board to ensure that you get that money that is yours. So Seats for Stimulus, get on social media and keep on pushing. Finally, I am very, very excited about this 25% increase of SNAP. The 25% increase of SNAP is nationwide, number one. It is lifetime. Oh, my goodness. And it starts in October. So the 15% is going away, and everyone in every state will automatically get up to an average of 25%. SNAP, Department of Agriculture, is calling it average of 25%. So you could see more than 25%. It's automatic. You don't have to do anything for it. And for some of you that were saying my state was ending 15%, every state was ending 15%. It wasn't just a state by state. This is what Biden did. He did not need executive order. He did it simply by calling them up. This is what I've always talked about, where presidents have these authorities to call up these agencies, say, spend the money. I love it. Great job, Mr. President. All right, and finally, let's go into the big, exciting details that I'm very excited for you. I'm really excited that so many of you have become refocused and understanding that there's so much money available for you under third stimulus. And if you have pounced and gotten one item under third stimulus, whether it's a $100 electric bill or a $300 water bill, and you've picked up the phone and you've gotten it, and you've achieved that success, I know how good that feels for you. But I feel even more proud of you. Why? Because forced stimulus is going to be mostly application-based. And when they have free internet or free dental, checks for dental, you're going to have to pick up the phone and call. Just like how you went to the application and applied for the EIDL in April of last year. Just like how you applied for the PPP last year. I showed you 7 places to apply for the PPP last year. Just like how you went to PUA and applied your unemployment department and you listened to my videos, I showed you how to apply for this and how to apply for that. Nowhere in the history of this channel has this been a universe where everything is just sort of automatic that lands in your hands. And all these programs are for you. So I'm very excited because guess what? When forced stimulus becomes a law and you have already pounced and gotten 1, 2, 3, 4 items on the third stimulus, you are going to be ready. I'm going to be here ready to get that big money for you as well. And people are going to look over and say, well, what about that automatic thing? And you're going to smile and say, I got a lot of money. I got a lot of money, and I'm not going to tell you how I did it. Because I didn't disappear to September. I stayed right here and I pounced. And moreover, here's another reason why it's important to pounce. Because when we start to hear nuances, more and more nuances of what is in forced stimulus, what is in this massive recon of 3.5 trillion, you're going to have to be prepared as a Purple Hawk to pounce. Because remember, it's first come, first serve. I've done enough videos on programs from this government since April of last year where something comes live and it runs out of money in just minutes. No time to check back in November when the money's gone, or October when the money's gone, or late September when the money may just, start already be heading. You need to pounce as soon as it's there. And with that, I look forward to seeing you across the board. Join me next on Overnight's Crypto. You don't have to lift a finger. This video will take you there automatically. Sort of like Chuck Schumer. Don't have to lift a finger. And then I'll see you at 9 a.m. with Mornings at Lalate, followed by noontime at 11 a.m. Mornings at 9 and noontime at 11. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers. I want you part of this channel. Hit that subscribe button. Like the video. 2,000-3,000 likes. And consider becoming a member. Stay informed. Stay focused. Have a beautiful morning across the board. The toast was toast and the butter was a butter. And I'm here. You're here. And I'll see you next on Overnight's Crypto.